Yo, what's good, man? How y'all doing? Man? Welcome in. Oh, what the hell? What's up? Happy Wednesday, y'all. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, like I was just saying, for a day that we had of no basketball, no NBA basketball, there was a lot to talk about. And we're gonna get into it, right? We're gonna get into Luka, some Kevin Durant, some rumors, Demarcus Cousins. We're gonna cover all of it. But we'll start right here, because this has to be like some of the most shocking shit for everyone right now. Here, let's start with this right here. This has been extremely shocking for a lot of people. This guy is him right now. Yeah, get it. Yeah, this guy's him. Oh my God. Boom. And then this photo was the one that's been circulating all over the internet. There were the photos of him at courtside at another game. So every photo, every video that we have seen of Luka since getting eliminated from the playoffs, he has looked slimmer and slimmer and better and better. I would love to give myself some credit right now, so I will do that, because this is exactly what I said. This guy, Luka Doncic, is someone who has had a deep run. I think did they not make the playoffs the year before and then the finals, right? So, it was a long finals run, the Olympics, going into this season with everything that happened with Dallas, having to move, having to try to compete to make it into the playoffs, playing in the first round. So it was a lot. It was a lot for Luka in the last, year and a half, 2 years. And I thought that the best thing for him was to rest for a couple of weeks, right? Let his body recover and then get in the gym. And that seems to be exactly what he's done. I said he could start training. He could take a whole month off, right, from when they got eliminated. I literally said back then he can take a whole month off and start training, and there would still be NBA games. NBA final games would still be going on, which is exactly what's happening right now. So scary sight if you are the rest of the NBA, right? Scary sight if you're the rest of the NBA. A lot of people have talked about his weight. I've talked a lot about his weight. Even with the weight or the not in shape stuff, I still thought if he would have played enough games this season that he was going to be at least in contention. I thought he was going to be the actual MVP at the end of this year. And I thought if, originally in the season with Dallas that he was going to carry them to the finals, even with my questions about his fitness and his weight, right? But I think it's a great sight if you're a Laker fan. It's scary for the rest of the league. Excuse me. So, with that being said, let's get into some news around the league. Let's start with some get better, get well soon, get better. Darius Garland, right? A lot of people were questioning him, and his teammates, myself included. Listen, I'll say it. He underwent surgery. I don't know what this means, but surgery to repair a great toe injury, and he'll be sidelined 4 to 5 months. So it was a real serious injury. That limp was not fake. That limp was not fake at all, right? That was a real limp in the Pacers series, and hopefully he comes back better than ever. But a real injury. I wonder if Donovan Mitchell hit him with a my bad, because sometimes maybe this is just how Donovan Mitchell is, but sometimes his body language, it screams, I'm by myself. That's how his body language looks sometimes. And this guy actually has surgery, so get well soon to Darius Garland. Oh, and then here's the other part. He was first diagnosed with the injury on March 23 in Utah, and managed it to end the regular season before re-aggravating it in the playoffs. So that happened. Also, Jaylen Brown apparently underwent arthroscopic surgery on his right knee, and is expected to be ready for 2025-2026 training camp. So another injury, another get well soon, get healthy soon. So another guy, two other guys that are getting that just have injuries, which leads me to some rumors. So I guess we'll start with my New York Knicks. We had requested permission to speak to Coach Finch, right? Minnesota Timberwolves' head coach, and the Houston Rockets' Ime Udoka. Both were denied. And then there was the news that the Knicks requested permission to speak to Jason Kidd, which then Shams said that he did not, and then later on said that he actually did, and that he had been rejected. They had been rejected also. So the hunt for a coach is really tough for the New York Knicks right now. I think if you are the New York Knicks and you spoke about building this team together, first of all, we look really fucking bad asking and requesting all of these and getting denied. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do that, there has to be an inkling, or maybe it's one of those things where, they felt like they got some motion with the coach, but the teams are just saying no. And it's funny because the Jason Kidd situation in Dallas, even though right now it seems like it's turned into a really great situation with a young player in Cooper Flag, with an Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving to return from surgery. So it seems to be looking up Klay Thompson. I always forget Klay Thompson is on this fucking team. But but the way that situation went down, Jason Kidd being a former player, I wonder if he would actually want to get out of that scenario, of that situation. So we'll see. We'll see. Wait, is this? No, that's that one. Sorry, I'm just checking when did this switch, bro? Okay, so it's not that. Is it this one? No, it's not that either. All right, I'll fix that later. I don't know what happened to this. Knicks are like the girl that's pretty but is a headache. Hello, Bruce. Hello. How you doing? If I'm Kidd, why would I want to pay New York taxes? That's facts. No, that's facts. But you got to think too, right? Like, seeing the way they handled Luka, the way that they did, right? The way they shipped him off. You got to wonder, as someone that works for that organization, as a player and as a coach, that you could just also lose your job in the blink of an eye, if Luka got traded the way that he did. So maybe he would have considered it, who knows, but the Mavericks denied it, so there's that. So there's that. I thought the Chris Finch one was weird. Because you got Karl Anthony Towns from them. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you just trying to get the Minnesota Timberwolves and bring them over here? Like, I don't understand that line of thinking. So I think if you are the New York Knicks, you have to think outside the box and think towards the future. And I said before, I think maybe you go and get a Sam Cassell. I think my dad was on the head with that. You get an NBA guy, a player's coach, someone that has been able to sit behind in Boston and see the positives and the negatives of Joe Mazzulla, of that style of play, and maybe he can adjust it and it work, right? So I think maybe they think outside the box and think of someone like a Sam Cassell. Inquire about him, right? Inquire about him. Tibbs just lost his job in the blink of an eye. He definitely did. But I know my dad's been calling for his job since last year, so maybe it's been a little bit of a rumbling. Maybe it's just been a little bit of a rumbling. What is that? What else do we have right now? Okay, so other rumors. Here, let me take a look at this. Excuse me. Could the Knicks trade for Giannis? I think this is gonna be a tough trade. I think any I think any trade for Giannis is gonna be a tough trade. You're gonna have to give something up. It'll be hard to not give something up. Um and this in this one article published 2 days ago, he talked about Jason Kidd. Getting Jason Kidd could be a nice way to get Giannis, right? To get Giannis to come to New York, but obviously that's not the case. Um, what was the other one? Durant to the Knicks. I think that's also super complicated. I don't love that because I don't think he solves our issue, right? If we already had a great defensive team, if we didn't have other guys, maybe, but currently speaking, I don't think Kevin Durant is the fix to that issue, especially at this age. Someone had even brought up maybe Kevin Durant to the Raptors. It seems like they're gonna try to get Giannis or Kevin Durant. So let's see what happens. Cleveland apparently is open-minded to a Darius Garland trade, who's just had surgery. So I don't know how trading a player that's injured goes. If that's something that they'll do, but we'll see. Apparently, Suns are open to trading Bradley Beal. Let's see if this can if let's see if this gets any motion. If I'm him, I would probably want to get out of that situation, even though I have a lot of leverage with the no trade clause, but we'll see what happens. This is the big one. A lot of people started talking about Kevin Durant potentially going to the San Antonio Spurs, and that they might not even need the number 2 pick to get that deal done. Throwing in the fact that you're getting a nearly 40 years old Kevin Durant, that maybe the number 14th pick. I think they said they were gonna try to keep what the fuck was it? There what's his name? Vassell. I was about to say Castle, but I don't know. I was like Castle won rookie of the year. That they would, something with a trade involving Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and the 14th pick, something like that. So, you got to think the number 2 pick coming in, De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Durant, to go with a Victor Wembanyama. I mean, that's just that seems like a sick. That seems like a sick dynamic. That seems like a really sick dynamic. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Apparently, the Celtics are also taking Drew Holiday calls. They're looking to get a first round pick back. My question, if I'm a team trying to get Drew Holiday, my path to try to lowball that deal would be his injury history, right? He's missed a ton of games. So, can the Boston Celtics deal Drew Holiday? I think they can, but will they get his value, or will they get lowballed a little bit because of his injury history? So a lot of moving parts in the NBA right now. A lot of rumors. There's a lot going on. And with that being said, because Kevin Durant is, he's been the topic of a lot of these conversations, right? He's been the topic of conversation for a lot of these guys because of, him potentially getting moved this summer. And things got viral this weekend, or not, or the last couple of days. Sorry, not this weekend. And you could go and read. You can go and read this yourself. But it started with this tweet with this tweet right here. No disrespect, you're one of the best and most skilled players in NBA history, but ever since leaving the Golden State Warriors, you haven't done much, and you're going to be on your third team since then if you get traded. I think if you stayed in Golden State, you would have won more championships. And he responds, I highly disagree, want to debate. And he had time. He had time. Talking about pride here, bringing up Allen Iverson, talking about downplaying rings. Y'all play 82 games to win a ring. That's the point. But then people downplay his ring. The irony in that. People are asking him about retirement. That's the culture. Winning a ring is the main objective. Only guys who can't earn rings earn a ring. Use that as an excuse. Talking to a guy that has rings and finals MVPs. So it's just like a lot of this. As 30, I stay with that 30 on me facts. So like he had time. He had time. So it raises a lot of questions, a lot of different topics that we could really talk all day about. The first is the original tweet, and they would start doing this shit right now, but the first is the original tweet. Let me find it again, which is, it talks about, first of all, isn't it the funniest thing? Anytime someone starts a sentence with no disrespect, they're about to say something with the utmost disrespect. With no disrespect, you haven't done much. Like, I think that's disrespectful. So that's first and foremost. And to an extent, right? To an extent, she's not really wrong, but you got to tell the whole story, right? That Brooklyn Nets team got injured. They were beating the Milwaukee Bucks by 50 points. Even Jeff Teague said he thought that series was over. And then they started dropping like flies. So that matters. And then, obviously COVID happened and Kyrie and all of that shit happened, right? Kevin Durant wants out. He's also dealt with injuries throughout this time, dealt with injuries leaving Golden State. So he, that's what's happened. And then came the Phoenix, and I'll say he underachieved in Brooklyn with an asterisk, right? Injuries played a factor. You got to tell that part of the story. But this team has underachieved with Bradley Beal, with Devin Booker. And I've said this before, right? I think this is the funny part. Because I get that there's this narrative that LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant are still A1 number one guys And the reality is they are not the same players that they were. They're still really good, effective, efficient players. But the series that we saw, like that, obviously, if Steph Curry was healthy, first and foremost, I think that series would have gone very differently against the Timberwolves. But also, imagine a healthy, younger, prime Steph Curry in that scenario. It would have looked totally different. Imagine a younger, prime LeBron James, against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That series would have looked totally different. And so these guys aren't who they used to be. I just think it's funny when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. No one ever brings up the player that they say is untouchable, which is Devin Booker. I just think that's funny. I think that's funny. So so, there's that. There's that. But I do love the fact that Kevin Durant responds to all of these people. It shows his character. There's some people that don't love this. There's some people that hate this. I think this is great. It shows you his perspective. It shows you a lot. It shows you a lot. I do agree that winning rings don't mean everything. You can't use that to take away how good of a basketball player somebody is. Somebody that trained their whole life to do that. Like, you can't just do that. You can't just do that. You can't just do that. KD is thin-skinned. Wait. That shows that he needs to grow up. Giving his perspective shows that he needs to grow up. He's not like he's not cursing out none of these guys. He's having conversations. What does that mean? Why does that mean he needs to grow up? So somebody that loves the game of basketball can't have conversations about basketball with fans? like yeah, that I think in this scenario, I think like people read too much into this. Who cares what people / masses think? He's just giving his opinion the same way people are giving their opinion. How come that's a problem when he replies and gives his opinion to someone that gave their opinion? Why is that a problem? Because he's the NBA player? Like I said, he's not acting out of character. He's not calling anybody out their name. He's not being disrespectful. He's having conversation. He has whole conversations replying back and forth with people. He's done it for years on Twitter. Like what? I know he's responding and they're having a back and forth in these situations. Like what? And it's not every single person, but he's done that before where he goes back and forth and has a conversation back and forth on Twitter with people. Like, he literally just asked Homegirl want a debate. Like, he's just talking oops. He's just talking hoops. I don't see what the problem in that is. And honestly, I think having a problem with him doing that, I think that's soft. I think that's soft. He's using his Twitter to respond and talk to people. like, he not doing nothing. He's not doing nothing wrong. He not doing nothing wrong. I just like the way that he does it. What you mean? He's not talking hoops. What you mean? Like, he's talking about basketball in all of these posts. I said thin skinned. like, bruh. I just don't see what the problem is with this. Like, genuinely, I don't see the problem with Kevin Durant responding to people, and he's not being disrespectful. Like, I don't see, like, I could see if he was being a dick, if he telling people yada yada yada, but you know, why did he have a fake profile? Because why not? And then he graduated, and now he just does it on his. It's like asking him why would he exit out the back door of the restaurant? Because it's Kevin Durant. And then he grew up. He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just do it on my account." I just don't have a problem with this. And like I said, he's talking basketball on there for the most part. He's talking basketball for the most part. Oh yeah, by the way, to get to him and his running mate, allegedly, I don't know what the number is, but apparently, Russell Westbrook could get a EuroLeague offer from Tel Aviv. What is the number? What is the offer? What's the offer? No one has the number, because he was making $4 million a year, or $4 million last year. But apparently the number is huge. So Tel Aviv might offer him. I don't know if I would do that, but it might be worth. It might be worth getting the bag real quick, right? He gets hated on over here in the NBA anyway. But yeah, shout out to Russ. Shout out to Russ. Hey, what's good, Elijah? What's good, Elijah? What's good? Yeah, good luck with your studies, bro. Good luck. Kill that shit. That's why he's using his account. He probably still uses the fake account. He's just more careful with it. Or he made a different one. He probably still has one. Probably, bro. He probably still has one. With that said, going international a little bit, because this was big news. Former All-Star Demarcus Cousins got into it. Let's take a look at this. We got So that happened, and then this also happened, and I'll give you guys my thoughts in a second.
Demarcus Cousins, ahí lo ve, dejándose sentir ante el público, y eso no va a quedar bien. Ahí esto se acaba. Esto pasó a mayores, desafortunadamente. Ahí ven la seguridad de Cousins tratando también, en la medida que sea posible, de detener de alguna manera u otra, y los fanáticos respondiendo. Ahí nos vamos una.
another thin-skinned dude that needs to grow up. So we'll start right here, right? You got into the fan space first. You made contact with the fan first. He was there out of bounds, flipping you off, and you go out of bounds into his space, and you make contact with his hand first. So off that alone, you are already wrong, because it's not like the fan went on the court, went to you and touched you first. And that's why everyone else reacted, because that's fan shit. That's what fans do. And it's so unfortunate, because Demarcus Cousins has had this reputation in the NBA. And I think some of it was a narrative and a past that followed him. But this moment right here is where all of those guys who said, you know, this is the guy that we can't have on our team, right? They all get to do this in this moment.
Whoa, whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
They all get to do that Leonardo DiCaprio meme in this moment. And you make every single person that defended you look stupid. Because you can't control yourself around fans that are there to insult you and call you names and everything. It's funny because nobody would say it but someone like Gilbert Arenas, which is why I appreciate him. And he said, it's funny because on the court, the players say worse shit to each other. He literally said that the players say worse shit to each other, but once a fan says something, look at him, look at what he said. And I appreciate that truth. And I could still even understand why someone would be upset, because that's someone coming into this space, right, where between the lines, it's just the 10 of us. And if you're Demarcus Cousins, the thing that's frustrating, right? The thing that's really frustrating is you should know this. It's the same way on, you know, in basketball when he pump fakes, he knows what the other guy is going to do. Like, you can't keep falling for it. You can't sit there and keep falling for this shit from other teams, from other players, from fans. Like, you just can't keep falling for it. And like I hate, like, sometimes I really hate like the when somebody responds to stuff like this, like, oh, like, you know, not from where I come from. Dog, like, you're 34, Boogie. You're 34, DeMarcus Cousins. You got drafted at 20. For the last 14 years, it's been private jets, 5-star hotels, all the brand, all the fashion clothes, designer, everything, 5-star restaurants. You gotta leave that shit. It's the reason now it's fucking with your money. And you know what's like, you know what's the kicker? You know what's the kicker? Because I had to check. You know, the kicker is this, right? The kicker is this. No one's ever that mad when they're on fire. Like, no one's ever that mad when they're about to score 50. When they're 18 for 22 from the field. No one is ever that upset. You hear that shit like water on the wall. But when you're not playing well, you hear everything. In 26 minutes and 21 seconds, Demarcus Cousins had 11 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 4 of 11 from the field and 0 of 5 from 3. So he just was not having a good game. And listen, I got to admit, if JaVale McGee has 17, 7, and 4 on me, I'm going to be mad too. I'm going to be mad too. So, hey man, that was just, you just gotta be better than that, bro. Like, you just gotta be better than that. You fucking up your money. Like, you fucking up your money over what? Over what? And what could he have said that prompt you to just grab your shit and now you in his face? Like what? Like what? I don't know, man. I don't know, but you gotta be better than that, bro. You gotta be better than that. You just gotta be. You just gotta be. And I guess there comes a time where, you know, he needs to like look and be like, I'm the common denominator in all of these scenarios. Yes, other people could have played a role. Other people could have done you wrong. But you have to expect moving forward for people to do you wrong. So now you got to act accordingly and adjust accordingly. Right? Because otherwise, you're just going to keep losing opportunities. And that's unfortunate for someone that's so talented. Right? That's the unfortunate part. 34, this man should still be in the league. He could shoot, he could post up, he could handle. Like at 34, that man should still be in the NBA. But that's how that goes, man. That's how that goes. And he's going to keep losing opportunities, man. He's going to keep losing opportunities. People aren't going to want to work with him, right? Businesses aren't going to want to, you know, partner, sponsor. So, hey, man. Hey. All right, we got to switch it up. We got to go on a little bit of a lighter note. Right? Because we talked about, you know, bringing it back to the NBA. So from one former really good big in the NBA, I won't say great, but former really good big in the NBA to, you know, the future of the NBA, right? Did y'all see this? Apparently, Wemby is doing a 10-day thing. He's practicing with the monks. like y'all see this right now? Like he shaved his head. They caught him out here. Like, what is going on right now, man? Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. So Wemby, I love what he's doing. I love everything that he's doing. You know, people want to keep calling him, he's being mature. He's being this, that, and he is. He really is, right? I think it's great. He's doing a lot of things that most people won't do at his age, number one, but two, most people won't do in the NBA. And that's where I'm going with this. Wemby is someone who's in a great position because he's young. He was a young up-and-coming talent that the NBA was watching, so there was a lot of hype behind his name. And now he's had 2 great seasons and is expected to, to keep going and keep getting better. So he's really popular. What he's doing with his popularity, his fame, and his money, I absolutely love, because he's trying everything, right? He's using his celebrity and his money and his opportunities the right way, right? He's recovering from an injury right now. He could sit at home, play video games, read, which really he likes to do, or we could go to the strip club. He could do all of those things, or he can go train with the monks for 10 days. He don't even need to get anything out of it, really, but he gets to say that he tried it and see if he actually liked it or not. Maybe he gained something from it, maybe he doesn't, but he's really maximizing all of his opportunities, and I think that that's really, really beautiful. And what this shows me, right, because he did the chess in New York, right, that got a lot of publicity. We saw him looking for cards. He built the basketball court, I think, already, or he was a part of it. He's obviously doing this. He's doing a lot. I think what it shows, and it shows in his game already, is the openness and the willingness to learn. Because you have to seek these things out. You have to look to do these things. You have to seek out going to train with monks. You have to seek out going and doing chess, in New York City. You have to seek these things out. And if he applies the same thing, or if he is applying the same thing to his game, I think we could see someone really unlock like all the rooms in the house, right? He's going to be able to unlock everything, and we'll see him, I think, unlock posting up. Maybe he'll get a hook shot because he's so open to everything. And I think he's the type of person where he's smart enough to understand, if it works, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna use it. And so I think this could really work out for him. I don't know if I could do this, y'all. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I know y'all see me sitting here yapping for an hour and a half straight. Clearly, I'm fluent in Japanese. But meditation for however many hours that they do, that's tough. The longest I've done meditation is like 10-15 minutes at most, and that was tough. So you're looking at a guy that could, all the things he's gonna gain from there is mental, right? All the things he's gonna gain is mental. So when things are tense, when things are tense during a high tension situation, high pressure moments, when other people are up and down, or they get really high or they get really low, he'll be able to stay even, right? He'll be able to just keep reading the situation and the scenario and not react on his emotions, because he'll be able to keep it in check. And so that's going to be really key. I think also maybe going through what he's going through right now, the injury, someone that seems to love playing the game of basketball. When you take that away, maybe he was going through some things mentally and he was seeking a way to figure it out that wasn't just, therapy. So maybe that's part of what this was. And if that's the case, this I think, will strengthen him even more. So I think there's benefits to this, right? There's benefits to this. And I think it shows signs to someone that's looking to continuously get better, right? But it's dope. It's dope. He's maximizing all of his opportunities as a player, and I think that's really, really cool. So I told y'all, man, there was a lot that was going on in the NBA in basketball the last couple days. Which leads me to tonight, because we have game 3 of the NBA Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. And I gotta admit, I'm still on the fence about this game tonight. I think based on what we've seen over the last 2 months of basketball, logic says the Indiana Pacers are going to win game 3 tonight. However, I think a lot of people are also expecting a lot out of Tyrese Halliburton and even Pascal Siakam because of this run that they've had. When the reality is, Halliburton isn't a 25-point per game scorer. Like, that's just not what he does. Siakam is not a 30-point per game scorer. It's just not what he does. And, that's why I said in the beginning of this series, I'm taking the team with the MVP. Like, I'm taking the team with the MVP because that guy showed time and again exactly who he is. And as great as Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam have been, 18.6 for the regular season, 18.4 for the playoffs for Halliburton, 20.6 in the playoffs, 20.2 in the regular season. That's who these guys are. And I know that I've spoken a lot about if Siakam can shoot over 15 times a game, he would be a 28 plus point per game scorer. But the averages don't lie for the most part. And the more I thought about this, the more I like the idea that Shea is actually going to have a big game. And that this is the series that will, at this point in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's career, will define his career. Because he saw progression year after year after year to get to this point. And I think that story, plus the Oklahoma City team story, moving forward for the NBA, I think that is going to be the story that they're going to want to push. And I think they've been so consistent at it all year long, and I just expect them to continue to do the same thing. I know a lot of people are picking Indiana tonight. I know a lot of people are picking Indiana for it to get a little bit spooky. I will say right? We saw the game winner, game one. This should be 2-0. This should be 2-0. And obviously, if you're Indiana, you're looking at them and saying, you got to beat me at home, right? You got to beat me at home is what Indiana is saying, because Indiana obviously beat them at home. So this series, I think a lot is hanging on this series. A lot is hanging on this series. So we'll see what happens. I got the Oklahoma City Thunder winning. I have a legacy game for Shea. I think this game will define Shea in his short career so far moving forward. I think the rest of the series he's going to have help. It'll be, typical Shea stuff, right? Around 30, 32 points a game. But I think tonight's the big game. The rest of the series will be, help from everybody. But I think the Indiana Pacers are. I think they were hot. But I think their flames are gonna get put out. So that's what I think is gonna happen tonight. We'll find out together. I will be live again later for the game. Maybe I get on early, play COD, play 2K. I don't know, whatever the fuck. Just bullshit with you guys, maybe, or maybe I'll just show up for the game. We'll see what happens, but till then, man, I'll see y'all later. It's been fun hanging out with y'all as always. Bruce, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Elijah, for coming in and chilling real quick. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for everything, man. I'll see y'all later. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. Y'all already know the vibes. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I'll see y'all later tonight, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.